Hello film friends, and welcome to another video about the Frugal Film Project. Of course, in 2024 I'm shooting with the Olympus Stylus Epic and Kodak Color Plus. So I shoot a roll of Color Plus in my Stylus Epic every month throughout 2024. Got off to a pretty good start in January. February things didn't go quite as planned. I had quite a few images that were underexposed. Probably my fault. I was half pressing the shutter and the brightest part of the scene, which caused the rest of the scene to become underexposed. So thanks to everyone who gave me feedback on the February results. And also thanks for letting me know about the spot metering. I didn't even know the Stylus Epic had spot metering. But then we were on to March, and it's kind of make or break. I was really thinking, do I ditch this project or do I keep at it? So March was make or break. Now, I really loved the photos from March, probably for two reasons. The first reason is I actually went to China on an 8-night trip with my family, my uncle who's 80, my dad who's 78, and my nephew who's 23. They all saw a cheap Tripper deal, which is like a cheap package holiday. It actually was out of Sydney, so we had to fly down to Sydney, and then we had 8 nights in China for around 500 US dollars, including accommodation and breakfast and the flights. It was a bit of a whistle-stop tour in most places. We went to Beijing, Shanghai, Suzhou. It was kind of like get off the bus, see something, get back on the bus. So it really wasn't, a slow trip. It really wasn't experiencing China. It was just more of a whistle-stop tour, but still had a lot of fun. And I think I took some pretty good photos. Now, I've already published some of the photos from that trip that I took on my Fujifilm X100VI. So if you haven't already, make sure you check out this video. I compared the X100VI's new film sim Reala Ace to 4 other color film sims. So check that out and you can see 100 different photos I took throughout China. But now, today, we're talking about the Stylus Epic and the Color Plus. So let's get into the results. So heading to China, I was a little worried about taking 200 speed film, but I'm glad to say most days it was no problem at all. It was nice and sunny and bright. Now, one of my secrets to my success in China, I learnt from February, and I decided that I was not going to use the flash off mode on the Stylus Epic at all. I think last time in February that caused me a few issues. I turned the flash off and then I metered for the brightest part of the scene, recomposed, and the image just come up underexposed. I thought this time I'm just going to shoot on auto. If it's not bright enough to shoot in auto, I'm not going to take the picture. So that's what I did, and the results were fantastic. So we're starting off with 3 images from the Forbidden City. This was our first place we went to on the trip. Lots of security to get anywhere near the Forbidden City. There was a Communist Party conference on, lots of security, police, army everywhere. And we finally got inside. Yeah, look, it's a cool place to look around, but there's just a whole load of Chinese looking buildings, and you've seen one, you've seen them all. A lot of the treasures were taken away when the Kuomintang fought the communists in the 1940s. So there's not really that much to look at inside. So I was more sort of concerned about looking at people and what people were doing inside the Forbidden City. And there were lots of young ladies all dressed up fancy in cool clothes, from bygone eras, taking selfies and photos of each other. And I thought this was wonderful. So the first image here are 2 ladies. They've just taken a picture of each other on the bridge, and yeah, they're sort of reviewing their images there on their phone. And yeah, you can sort of see their lovely outfits there. One's wearing a pale pink, one's wearing a pale blue, and you've got the beautiful Forbidden City in the background there. So I really love that shot. And then the next 2 images are actually outside the Forbidden City. About an hour later, we were leaving to get a bus somewhere, and we were just in the queue for the bus, and I looked to the right, and there's these ladies hula hooping outside the Forbidden City. Why? I have no idea, but I absolutely love this. So I ran across, and yeah, they weren't fazed at all by me taking pictures of them hula hooping. There was actually 3 of them, but in this image here on the Stylus Epic, I got 2 of them. And yeah, really love that shot. I think it looks great. And the next image is a seller at a bus stop, and he was selling these things. I have no idea what they are. Some kind of chestnuts or small fruits, candied fruits. No idea, but people were quite interested in them, as you can see. So the next location was outside a theme park, and there's actually a theatre there where most of the tour group went to this Chinese dance, opera, acrobatics show. My uncle and my dad went, they absolutely loved it. Me and my nephew though, we were like, we just want to go for a walk around the neighbourhood, get some sunshine, take some photos. So that's what we did. And there's 3 photos in a row here of these beautiful red lanterns in the trees. So this is like the forecourt, I guess, of the amusement park. And yeah, I really love these red lanterns in this shot. And sort of turning around, I took some of them behind me as well. And as you can see, there's lots of just Chinese families, kids, grandmas, grandpas, just having a good time, playing ball in this huge sort of open area. I thought it was really wonderful. And then the final one here is just a close-up of these red lanterns, and I really love the colors here. Look at those reds, they're really like reddy orange here on Kodak Color Plus. This next image was also on our walk. We went over an overpass to get across the road because it was pretty busy, and I just took this one down the street here, and you can see all the buildings here, and yeah, high-rise buildings. Beijing is a lot different to what it used to be. A lot of the buildings and neighborhoods now, there's not really that much interest. They're just massive high-rise modern buildings. A lot of these sort of old Beijing, I think, went, 20, 25 years ago. If you do want to look at what Beijing looked like in 1997, make sure you check out my Substack, mattlovescameras.substack.com. I actually went on a very similar cheap package tour to China with my parents in 1997, and I posted up 2 posts on Substack with images from that trip. It was a lot different back then. There's been a real rapid modernization of Beijing in the last 27 years. The next image was taken at the Great Wall, and just an image into the distance there, and you can sort of see part of the wall snaking up the mountain there, which is pretty cool. And the trees there, as you can see, it's a bit chilly here. There's no leaves on the trees yet. It's still quite cold here in northern China. I love this image of this greenery. We actually went to like a Chinese medicine place. Along the tour, they take you to all these factories and places and try and sell you stuff. I was pretty good. I didn't buy anything. I think I was the only person on tour who didn't buy anything. But at the Chinese medicine place, I was really loving the light here and these pot plants just in the foyer of the Chinese medicine place. Really love that shot. The next images are from somewhere in Beijing. There was a fancy shopping street. It was kind of sterile in a way because they were just like big chains and big restaurants. It wasn't that interesting, but it's quite, quite picturesque and quite nice here, as you can see looking down the road. And then back in the back streets, that's probably where you were going to find the more interesting stuff. So there was these chestnuts. Absolutely love these chestnuts, and the pink stools, the tray is sitting on some pink stools and some red water bottles in the background there. So really love this image. The lady who was in the shop thought I was completely crazy taking these photos, but yeah, really love that. I took that across quite a few of my cameras. The next image is some yellow and blue bikes. I took that on quite a few cameras as well. Kind of sick of that shot though now, so we're going to keep on moving. And this is just some building in Beijing. No idea what it is. I just thought it looked cool with the sort of the branch coming across the top of the frame there. Now we're down in Suzhou. We caught a train. Took over 5.5 hours. The view out the train was not great. It was a bit like an apocalyptic wasteland. But that evening we got to Suzhou, and the next day we went to the Lingering Garden. I really like this image here. The roses or whatever flower they are in focus, and those pot plants in the background a bit further back are out of focus. Then we did a boat ride, and when we got to the city centre, just before I jumped out of the boat, yeah, I took this picture of the Chinese flag on some other boats. I really liked that one. And then I went for a walk around Suzhou. There was a beautiful big marketplace. The first sort of half of the marketplace was kind of, geared towards tourists. But as you got deeper and deeper into the market, it was just like locals. It was really cool. So I went quite a long way down the street, and I found some back streets where people are living on the canals. And yeah, really love this image here. It's obviously washing day, lots of washing hanging out. Someone had this outside their door. I'm not sure what they are. Some kind of good luck sort of charms maybe outside their door. Not sure. Love the colors here though, those red and those greens. Walking back along the street in Suzhou in the marketplace, yeah, there was a card game, and I really love this. I was just watching this unfold. 4 gents, it was actually 3 gents and a lady, and then the lady had to go back to a shop and someone took over. Just playing cards in the street, really love this. I took this on every camera I have with me, film and digital. So you're going to see this a lot if you liked watching my videos. But yeah, it was really cool. And there was a couple of locals out of shot there who were kind of like smiling and laughing at me taking photos. I thought, why is this crazy white guy taking photos of a card game? Second last shot is outside the silk factory. Yeah, we went to a silk factory. They showed you silkworms and how they make silk. It was actually really interesting. And then of course they do the hard sell, and they want you to buy silk pillowcases and silk scarves and silk everything. I didn't buy anything, but it was very cool. I actually liked this shopping stop a lot. And when I was outside waiting for the bus, yeah, there was a lady there on her scooter with a pink helmet. Really loved that. Took a photo of that. And the final image here is just some scooters in Shanghai. I do really like this image. It sort of shows you on the one on the left there has got like a jumper over the handlebars. People had these a lot in Beijing. It's so cold, and obviously when you're riding a bike it gets pretty chilly with the wind. So they have like these jumpers that hang over the handlebars, and when they get on their bike they sort of put their hands on and they put the jumper over them. So it's like a scooter jumper that stays on the scooter all the time. Pretty cool invention, I guess. Keeps you nice and warm while you're scooting around Beijing. So there you go. What did you think of the images I shot with the Olympus Stylus Epic in China for my March 2024 Frugal Film Project roll? I'm really happy with the results. I'm really glad that I kept the camera on auto. I think I got a lot of good results this month, and I'm really looking forward to my April roll. Already halfway through April, haven't even loaded it in the camera yet, so I better get going. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and if you like China and Japan photos, make sure you check out my Substack, mattlovescameras.substack.com.